child development with Ruth. If you have not subscribed to this channel, kindly do that by clicking on the subscribe button, and also do well to share and like our videos. So today I'll be bringing to you a very interesting topic once again. It has to do with the African child and their parents. I discovered that most parents do not speak their local dialect to their children, and discovered so they mommy, and then I was just wondering, I'll be wondering like, God, how will God, if this will come to the house, the mother will be communicating with English language. I used to think that English language should be spoken to children in the school, and at home parents should speak their local dialect to them. But then we have different reasons why different persons speak English to their children. So on today's episode, I'll be bringing someone very special, a child advocate. She's also a teacher, and she'll be taking us through this section to help us see why many parents decide to speak English to their children instead of their local dialect. Make sure you don't go anywhere. Welcome back. So like I said earlier, I'll be bringing someone special to the studio with me, and I have here with me Miss Rachel. Miss Rachel, nice meeting you here. You're welcome to our
Thank you very much for having me.
So she'll be taking us through this section, and you will not want to miss it. So Miss Rachel, I discovered that in the natural African setting, back then parents speak their local dialect to their children. In fact, you hardly go to any family where they communicate with English language. So what do you think would be the cause of this change in our time, whereby most parents, in fact, they see English and their local dialect as abomination? Some homes is not even permitted at all. The children speak in English language. So what do you think would be the possible cause of this?
Well, I grew, like I'm a millennial, and I grew in the 90s, and then your language is being spoken to you. Even as at then, there were families who did not speak their language, they spoke English to their children, and I believe it's a choice. Each comes with its own advantage and disadvantage. And this is a global era. This is the 21st century, like a digital era where local languages are not really seen as important, but I would say they are important. At least if you go online, you will see jobs that I think transcription jobs. They're looking for people who will translate from English to Yoruba, Yoruba to English, other languages and like that. So I just feel people don't really see the benefits of speaking local dialects to children. It's not an abomination. It's just whatever you choose, like what you decide.
Okay. Thank you very much, ma'am. Also, I want to know, do you think, because now we have intertribal marriages, and you discover that somebody like maybe an Hausa will get married to Yoruba, there will be conflict in language. So do you think that this could be part of the reasons why children end up speaking in English language?
Well, English is supposed to be the common factor now. When a Hausa man marries an Igbo woman, or a Yoruba woman marries an Hausa man, and like that, they have to come to a consensus on what to use as the primary language so that everybody will feel carried along. If, for instance, I'm your sister and I come to visit you and you got married to an Igbo man and we begin to speak Yoruba, he will feel left out. So I think English is just a common factor there. It's also one of the reasons why we have not been able to have continuity when it comes to passing our language to the next generation. It's also a factor, but it doesn't mean that we should not marry intertribally. I don't think that should be a reason why we shouldn't marry intertribally. Both parties can also go a long way to learn their languages. I know about Mercy Johnson, the popular actress. She's from Okene here in Kogi State. She's an Ebira woman, and then she had to go learn she went to stay in her husband's village, so I heard, for like a year, and then she now knows how to speak the man's language. So in order to ensure continuity, I think both parties can go a long way to learn each other's languages, even if it's not perfect. At least you can get to speak it to these children and they can understand their roots.
Okay. Thank you very much, ma'am. Also, I want to know, are there benefits of children speaking their local dialect? Like, are there benefits of parents teaching their children how to speak their local dialect, or it's just to fulfill African wishes? If there are benefits, can you please help us highlight them?
Of course, like when I was doing my research, I heard that it helps with the brain development, especially for children. When children are introduced to multiple languages early, it helps them perform better in their academics. I haven't done that research myself, but from research, they said that it helps their brain formation and brain development. Also, it gives the children a sense of identity. Like, where are you from? Okay, I'm from this family. Where's this family located? Okay, it's a Yoruba family. From whether Osun State,
yeah.
from Oyo State, from Kogi State, because some people don't believe that they are Yoruba saying in Kogi
fact,
State. They often deny us.
Yeah,
You know?
it's true.
And then you could even say you're from Lagos State, you're Yoruba from Lagos State. You could say you're Hausa from Kebbi State. You could say you're Hausa from Sokoto State. So I believe it gives the child a sense of identity. Okay, this is where I came from. Then it also helps us to pass cultural legacy from one generation to the other. I was watching something online and they said a particular old woman, I think she's very old, I can't remember the age now. They said she is the only one remaining who knows how to speak a particular dialect in South Africa. That was sad because I felt this language is like they are our core in Africa. We live our culture, dialect we speak, and we pick that of the white man as superior to our own, such that just one woman knows how to speak a particular dialect. I don't think it is good for that particular culture, that particular tribe. It's just like their legacy dying off before their very eyes. So I feel that as much as we can, we could teach our children our dialect. It helps with their brain development, number one. It helps to pass on our cultural legacy from one generation to the other. And another thing, when I was growing, each time a visitor comes and we are misbehaving, what my mommy used to communicate with us is outside her eyes though.
In fact,
Is the language. You hear my mom say in the language, live there. She will say it, so while she's gisting with the visitor wouldn't know that she's referring to us, and we'll quickly we will leave. If you don't leave, you know that judgment is waiting for you. Actually, you could use this to communicate things that you don't want people around you to hear. Now let me infuse a story. My daddy told me during the slave trade era, he said his parents told him about the story of a boy. The father had two sons, he and his younger brother. So they all went to the farm, and some of these Nupe people were like slave consortium, people who like are middlemen between the slaves themselves and the people who buy the slaves. So they came on their horses and they were farming. So when they came, the man just used wisdom. He welcomed them and brought them into the hut. A heavy rain started, and he told his younger son in their language, he said, go on, because if he speaks Yoruba, these people understand Yoruba, but they don't understand the native language, which is Yagba. And then, so he sent his son. He said, go and help us, because they put yam on fire to serve the visitors. That's visitors whom they will soon be slaves of. He asked the younger son. He said, go to the river, go get them water. The older son, that was the older son. The older son said, because he had his eyes on the yam, he did not know what his father was trying to protect them from. So he said no, he was not going to go. Finally, the father sent the younger son and said, go and get water for this boy. This one already knew that something was up, and the way his father told him. So he left and went to the river to get water, and that was his escape route. The father, when the younger one refused, didn't come back, the father asked the older one to go get the younger one. Since your brother has not come, why not follow him? That one was adamant. So the father, when he saw that the boy was adamant, despite speaking the local dialect to him, stood up. He said, wait, my visitors, my younger son has just gone to get water. I don't know what is delaying him, and I need to serve you water together with this yam that I am roasting. So he left, and he and his younger son escaped. So when it took a long time for these people to return, the slave traders already knew that they have been played. So they carried the younger son, and he became a slave, according to the story though. According to the story. So I think that it's very important. At least slave trade has been abolished, but we have many other things that you will save your children from when you teach them your local dialect. And I believe that your local dialect should, I feel, because it's a choice anyways, just like I said from the beginning, I feel that the local dialect should be the L1. Let them get to school before they learn English. Let them get to school before they learn English. At least they will know where they are coming from. They will know their roots. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, ma. Wow, that was so much. In fact, it reminded me of one of my experience when I was in school, whereby some people say, "Where are you from?" I say, "I'm from this place." Just even if they have started speaking language, like in fact, what saved me was that I still understood my language, so I was able to relate to them because I understood my language, and there were some advantages I got. If I was not able to speak my language by then, I would have no evidence to present to them that I was from this place. And if it was something of matter of life and death, if you remember the story in the Bible where they were asked to pronounce a particular word. Sibolet and Shibolet.
Yes.
Exactly.
Benjamin.
And in fact, that was the only thing that would have saved those people at that particular time. So please, parents out there, like she has said, it's a choice, but I feel as much as we can, let us educate our children on their dialect. Let us help them to know where they are coming from. Let us build them up with this, because it is what we inculcate in them that they will transfer as they grow up. Imagine a boy child growing up to say, they said I'm a Yoruba but I cannot speak my language, and that same boy child grows up to get married to a woman that they say I am Hausa but I cannot communicate my language, and they give birth to children like that. Before you know it, those children will have no bearing.
It's the norm these days.
In fact, it's something that we really need to look into, and I would like to know what you think about this by using the comment box. Let us hear from you. Let's hear your opinion about this topic. Please kindly share this video, share and like our videos. Also do well to subscribe. Thank you very much for listening. We love you. Do have a great time. Bye.